What are we saying? Once again, I'm back on Instagram Live. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I on my phone like this? Something I tried to say the other day on Instagram Live, you guys might have seen, I think it was yesterday. I was saying that, like, what I was trying to say is that people can think that, like, my content and the way that I am online can seem sort of strange-ish from the outside, but, like, you'd have to be in my shoes to kind of understand it somewhat. Well, like, a lot of people love to tell me about what I'm doing, but it's like you don't see the vision unless you're the one with the vision. Like, it's easy to criticize somebody from the outside, but also this thing here helps me a lot. It has helped me a lot. Speaking and listening back to things that I've spoken in the past, it can just give me so many insights. Because I observe my own behavior. Like, if I'm acting a fool right now, I'll watch this back in a year and I'll be looking at myself, hopefully able to perceive my blind spots, and like, it can be tough on the ego. Yes, Alchemist Ash, what you saying? Where are you at the minute, Ash? You're not in England, are you? I've been meaning to ask you where you've gone. You've been on fruits for 2 days, eh? Have you been staying off the coffee, bruv? There's no need for coffee if we do the breathing properly. But yeah, I was just saying that you'd have to be me to kind of understand my vision and why I do the things I do somewhat. I can understand how my vision may not be exactly clear for everybody right now from the outside looking in, but yeah, I kind of compared myself at one point to, in terms of doing talks like this, I compared myself to this No More Cocaine Shane. The reason I did that is because, like, yeah, he, like, really struggles with addiction and mental health, and every now and then he just comes on the phone and he just gives an update on, like, how he's doing, because, yes, Ryan, I don't know if you know that No More Cocaine Shane on Instagram, right? He just does these updates, like, every now and then, like, he's like an addict, and, like, he's really struggling, every now and then he relapses and he just comes on Instagram Live and he just gives an update on how he's doing, because he's like, he could barely stay afloat. I'm not comparing myself to him, but people don't understand why I come on Instagram Live or I do these talks ever. Half the time it's almost something of that nature. It's like, I have in my past, I've struggled to stay afloat, like, with, like, mental health or just general things, and it's like, in a way, like, the social media and that, it's like, it is something that I have, like, it's like sometimes you don't feel like you have much, and obviously sitting on social media is probably not going to get you much more, but should I accept it? Probably. It's just because it's my mum's sleeping upstairs in a minute. I don't know if I'll accept it though. Is it cool if I keep it up though? If I so I don't like deleting them normally, but yeah, it'd be good to chat to you, right? And I ain't spoke to you in a while, man. Been meaning to hit you up, man. I've been bouncing off the walls, man. It's like, what I said the other day is like, as soon as I'm more stable within myself and I reach, like, I'll do it. Self, I will have more time for people. Yeah, I did press accept. Half the time it's fucking buggy as fuck anyway, so I don't know if it'll work. But yeah, you ain't got to stick no expectations, like. I was live with Mew3 earlier. His voice kind of reminds me of your voice on the chat. Like, I think it's because I've only spoke to you through Instagram Live. I was getting, like, flashbacks of when I spoke to Ryan, because he nearly sounds like you in some parts. I don't know if it's going to work, man. Instagram is so annoying. But yeah, like, there's no more cocaine Shane. He just does updates every now and then. Where he just comes on and he's like, "Yo guys, I relapsed 2 weeks ago, but I've been getting better. It's crazy how it gets me, man. It's like, to an extent, like, I've been like that on and off with, like, depression. I have had struggles with depression for years, and it gets me so under sometimes. It's like, this is what I mean. It's like, yeah, I might record a video, like, because at that point you don't give a fuck. Almost, it's like you're already at your wit's end and you've lost. I'm not saying I'm like that now, but like I know it don't. It might not seem 100%. Like you might not understand what I'm doing on social media from the outside in. A lot of people. But like from my perspective, it's like when I'm dealing with like such like heavy depression and demons half or most of the time, it's like you almost end up with like you don't even have anything to lose. It's like it can be very liberating as well. Like I don't know how many people can relate to that, but it's like that's how it got for me. It's like the depression can get so bad, it's almost liberating because like you get to a certain point, it's like I can either kill myself or I can just let it play out. I might as well. I'm gonna die anyway. That's how you can get. It's like literally, I swear, that's what depression does. It can literally induce an awakening. Where it's like, if you actually contemplate suicide, you're like, right, I can either kill myself or I can just wait it out. I might as well just wait it out. I know I'm probably sounding a bit mad right now, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I was trying to say it the other day. That's all. Is like I know I'm not my best self, but I tried. I want to get on the live now. Yeah, I'm trying to get you in here, man. I've literally pressed it 4 fucking times. Yes.
Oh, it works. Oh, good.
It would just give you a jump scare now. It's like it will after like 10 minutes it will just go, welcome. You're
You know
not
what?
ready
It's
for
mad
it.
because it's funny that it's accepted me now because what you were saying, yeah,
Oh yeah.
was the realest shit. And I, oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm okay. Like, don't worry about me, yeah. Or if anybody watches this, don't worry about me. Your boy's good. But when you're that, when you're at a level of, let's call it awakening, for lack of a better word, right?
Hmm.
Bruv, it can be depressing. And it can get to a point where you're looking around and you're like, what the fuck is the point in all this shit? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have those dark contemplations, yeah. But it's true. Once you move past that, you think, wait, so if I'm gonna live this life, yeah,
Mm.
there's nothing really to be afraid of because you know what I mean. Like, it means you can kind of tackle anything without fear because you've already, you know what I mean. You've already had those dark thoughts to, you know what I mean. You're not afraid of death, basically. You know.
Yeah, 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 totally. That's how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, uh, it's a hard thing to articulate somewhat, but I do know what you mean. Yeah. It is basically somewhat what I was saying. Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's like if like you can somewhat like confront the darkness to the point where it's like it almost like, or what I was saying to an extent, it's like it's somewhat you can have like this feeling. It's like where it almost can't get any worse, and it's like at that point you're like you can like you almost surrender attachments in a way. Whereas
Yeah.
like especially if you start thinking about like the nature of like suicide or something. Like I was saying, it's like I was saying, like you could. I've literally, I swear, like it was probably like a year ago. I was really down bad in this like dead end job, yeah. And I
Mm.
was like, I was in a lot of physical pain because I just weren't taking care of myself, and it was just treacherous, like. And I hated this job. I was literally feeling like down bad, and I was like, but yeah, like I was saying, it's like you might as well like if you get to the point where it's like you think about like ideas like suicide or something, it's like you it almost can be liberating because at that point you might as well surrender every attachment that you was attached to anyway. It's like
Mm.
if you're gonna throw it all away, it's like you can be on like the precipice of a like contemplating suicide and it's like I might as well just fucking wait it out anyway. Like if I'm about to end it, I might as well just like fuck around with the time I got left. Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or just it's like fuck around or yeah, kind of fuck around, but
Well,
have fun or try to have fun with whatever. Like,
yeah,
um, and it's actually puts you in quite a creative space as well because you think, wait, like you said, letting go of certain attachments. Yeah, it makes
mm,
you then think like, right, okay, what else could I do? What else could I try? You know,
yeah,
and yeah, was anything's better than suicide, isn't it?
yeah, basically. Uh, But I
Yeah,
mean, I hear what you were saying, kind of like when you said like on the spiritual awakening stuff. Like, I can't recall how exactly you said it. It's just like, I mean, it's not just spiritual awakening. I feel like loads of people like just have this general like, even before awakening, it's just like almost I think you saw that picture I posted of that guy saying like God should just press the red button now because this is just nonsense or something. I'm not saying it is, but it's like it don't really like I don't know. It's like that like the whole setup even from the get go. It's like you're born into like a death trap. It's like there's a timer from the get go, and it's like
yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like it's ticking down, and it's like you look around it and you're like, what is the point in this or what?
yeah. It's true, man. Like even me, like I wouldn't say I had it all. Well, no one has it all figured out, of course. But even recently, like I come across some stuff I was watching, and like it doesn't contradict what I already believed, but it more like confirmed it and then added more reason to confirm what I already believed. And it's made me just think like, what is the point? Why like I get it. We're here to help humanity. We're here to help people wake up and all that stuff there. But in all of the religious texts, you know, when it talks about the end times, right, or in whatever religion and whatever way they explain it, it's not actually really us that has a say in when all this happens. We're just all waiting
Mm.
for like
Yeah.
good to overrun the evil, you know? We
Mm.
can't actually do anything to speed it up other than just I don't know. Because even the way you and me both wake up, yeah, I'm sure it's completely different stories. But really, we're not even in control of that. Like the things that happened for me to wake up and keep on evolving happened to me. You don't really choose to do it.
What do you mean wake up like spiritually, like in terms of like you're
Uh,
you're almost a victim to what you're incarnated into. It's like you don't have a choice in it or
Sort of. No, that part I don't know for sure. But I'm just saying, like, the different points in my life where something has happened that's made me feel like wake up a little bit and
Mm.
question reality. It wasn't something that I wanted to happen. It's something that happened to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I've gone a bit deep. I don't even know the point I'm trying to make now, but yeah,
I can't remember where it stems from. I think I hear what you're saying though, kind of like I don't know where it stems from, but it's almost like you're forced to wake up in terms of like because you we were on about waiting on the kind of the return of Christ or something of that
yeah, I
nature.
did
It's
bring
like
that
for the
up.
yeah. Um, but like I don't. I think I don't. It's almost like what you're saying. The things that woke you up just like kind of happened to you and came to you. It's like it's almost like it's happening for you in a way, where it's like you're actually inside something that is designed to awaken you.
Yeah, because then okay, cool. You're taking it there, which is where I've sort of started to man. Honestly, the deeper you go, you realize how intelligent this reality is, if that makes sense. Or like I don't know, it just feels like whatever we're living inside of is of a higher intelligence than we ever really knew. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's like if you almost know kind of in God kind of where like for me even recently like I've been on the fence where it's like sometimes I'm I'm almost worrying like what if this is just material
Mm.
because that to me like makes me want to blow my fucking head off in a way. It's like there's no way that I can just be like some bacteria like scatting out on like some random rock in the corner of the universe. You know what I mean? I'm not just like some like rocks and water and fucking like some weird shit like growing in space. In terms of what I'm saying is either it's a fluke and it's a material brute dumb blind system of like blunt energy and like or it's like intelligent dream and there's like levels of awakening. That's what just when you say it feels like we're inside something intelligent.
Yeah, yeah, like a simulation.
Yeah, to me that's like
Did
when
you
I feel like
I'm
mm,
guessing you didn't watch it the other day on Rise Above. They done a really good episode with this guy. who had certain theories about ancient AI. Have you ever heard of that?
I have a little bit, but I don't think maybe not what you're talking about right now. I'm not sure.
The way he broke it, I'd have to send you the link, bro. I know you'd
Yeah.
enjoy it. I know you're into that kind of thing. But he was sort of going on about how, like, he gave reasonings as why as well, and how this ended up being the simulation that it is that this world is a game, but then humans kind of ruined it by trying to monopolize the game,
Mm.
and then it kind of created, when some people would call it like demiurge or the devil or whatever,
Yeah.
like it kind of created a what's the word I'm getting a bit lost in my own thoughts now. But what they say that the technology is going to become, in his theory, has already been here for a long, long time. In like say Terminator or the Matrix, where technology is taken over humans. Yeah, like this guy's theory is that already happened many, 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 many years ago, and it's
Yeah.
like it's already a technology that exists already, and we're already a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds very interesting. Like, I mean, I'm somewhat familiar. Um, uh, I definitely like to go down that rabbit hole deeper, probably if you send it to me. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know where to draw the line, kind of, because I do know, uh, like in terms of, I don't know where to draw the line in terms of what to define as artificial intelligence, because there's like this new like digital stuff that's coming online. I don't know if that's what your guys on about with the ancient AI. But like I am familiar with this like these concepts of AI that have been here for much longer than the new AI that's coming online, and I kind
yeah,
of see it as like the somewhat like the NPC hive mind. Um, but I don't know. I'll have to go down deeper down that rabbit hole that you're on
yeah.
about. To be
Well,
honest, sounds very
I think
interesting.
I think it's kind of linked. Like it's something that's always been there, but it's just becoming more real. And it's becoming, like you said, with technology. Oh yeah, that's why he said basically, for lack of a better word, let's call it the demiurge, because that's what I know a lot of people are using that term now. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
apparently that thing there is running out of time. Yeah, with the power source that it's got. So what it's trying to do is basically download itself into humanity via the technology so that it can continue its reign.
Mm.
So that's
See,
why all the end times things are real. Even with, I'm not even fully subscribing to this guy's theory, but
yeah, yeah,
it's just interesting, and it does actually still add up with what I already believed.
yeah.
'Cause it gives
Right.
reason to why this is all happening,
Mm. Interesting. Like,
isn't it?
see, I'm not 100% sure on like what I believe inherently in contrast to you, or if there is any contrast. But like, I feel like I know that there is like a most high, so to speak.
Yeah,
I don't know whether or not to put that into like an archetype of like of Jesus
mm.
or who or like. But like, I feel I know that there's a connection because I've experienced like synchronicity and it's just an intuition.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah. So I feel like I can almost simultaneously kind of somewhat believe or entertain ideas of like the demiurge while also entertaining the ideas of like the Most High and Christ in terms of like I think we are simultaneously in a prison realm, but I think potentially we decided to incarnate into here, and there is like a more intelligent larger structure I feel like where like eventually it all ties all the loose ends kind of. But the last thing I'll say is when you say the demiurge is running out of time, I do feel that kind of like in a weird way. I don't know like
yeah.
how you see it or
Well,
perceive it, but like
I
fundamentally in
think
the
like,
present moment.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
on.
like I said, I'm not even fully trying to subscribe to that term,
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm into the Bible, and the thing is, I always cross-reference things because I never want to be just like, oh, the Bible says it, so I'm just going to believe it. That's why I always look at other things as well to see the running theme. And this whole like in the Bible, when all the Christian people, they'll tell you that the devil's running out of time. So it's whatever this word. There's something out there that reigns over this reality that is obviously running out of time,
Mm.
and I think there's something wrong with this world we live in, and I think that's what all this is for. There's some sort of war going on over this world, and there's a power struggle on, But it's just cool. I like hearing other people's theories on it, because even that thing I was just talking about, I'll definitely send you this episode later, because it just gives even more backstory to it in this guy's view anyway. Yeah, I'm waffling now. I don't even know what I'm saying.
It's definitely down my lane, 100%. Like I'm happy that you brought it up. Like ancient AI, it sounds like a very cool, like, because the AI really tripped me out because I thought I was awake, and then I started researching about AI and that, and I'm like, it's literally blowing my mind. I'm like, no way. But yeah, I intuitively, like, regardless of whether or not you're subscribing to this idea or you're just kind of like bringing it up because there's something that you heard, like, I do kind of feel like the tide's turning in a way where, like, for example, there's this lyric, of the, and it's what it goes. It's just like the wall on which the prophets wrote is cracking at the seam. Is how this song goes. And it's like you'll have to hear it to get it, but it's like literally, like, it feels like I'm literally like, if I look at the scriptures and that, like, I feel like I'm on the fucking pivot point. It's like it depends as well what you're going through personally, but like for me, I just feel like, I don't know. It's almost like awakening can get to like almost like a, what's the word? Like a
Um,
climax.
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, and that's kind of feel like where I've got to recently, and that's why I feel a little bit deflated, if anything, because I'm like, rah, like it's another it's like a mini awakening. I think I've had the last couple of weeks. Like I've
Hmm.
gone deep enough, but then there's also been this just sort of like, oh shit, and then there's that, but then it's like, okay, well, it still means the same thing. And now I'm like, rah, well, can Jesus come back now? Can God come back already? Like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah,
How long do we wait for this shit?
yeah. I'm with you. I mean, like, I don't know what you're going through exactly, but like for me, like, it's almost like awakening is almost a choice. Where, like, as soon as I start to self-reflect and I start to like meditate, I start to notice that I was asleep until I started to meditate, and then like over like 2 days, 3 days, I could like breathe more, like observe more and more, and it's like I can induce my own awakening. So it's like in a week's time, I can be at a completely different like state. I feel like compared to, and it just depends how much I'm thinking or how aware I am. Where like I can fall asleep for like months at a time and stuff. Like I'm just unconscious, just and then it only takes like one meditation session, and I start to realize that my mind was fucking playing tricks on me the whole fucking time. Like you can say like,
Mm,
well, what can Jesus return or can Christ return already? But it's like, what if like, because like the non-duality thing is deep as well. Like I keep noticing this stillness that never goes away. Like it's just like right in the middle of awareness all the time. It's like literally God right now, and it's like I notice that I'm thinking where like I'm not following the thoughts, and it's like I'm just like dissolving into the present moment and shit, and like. It, like I don't know, it only takes for you to notice that for it to start happening more. I don't know, it's trippy shit. It depends as well. Like psychedelics would definitely, obviously, fucking speed that shit up. But
mm.
don't know. I guess it's all in the mind. I feel like it's traumatic. So fuck, didn't even know what I just said to me.
Yeah, I hear we're both just going off on tangents, but that's why it's good to that's why these communities are here. That's why we've all been doing what we've been doing, is to connect with people that you know what I mean, are on wavelengths. But yeah,
Yeah, we're all a lot
because
of
like
us.
for example, like you've got a lot of people that follow you, so have I. But now it's like I feel like all the like minds are like in place. So I'm sort of in a position now where I'm thinking, so what now then? You know,
Yeah,
we
right.
we've assembled in our network. So like, it's like, what now?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to like before I come on this live, like one of the sticking points I was thinking about is like, I really want to gain momentum with like action or something. And so when you say like what now, it's like yeah, it's like come on, let's literally like do the mass awakening like on
Yeah.
the ground. But like yeah, I hear you. But like yeah, I didn't mean to like divert. I'm kind of curious in terms of what you were on about like a second ago as well, in terms of like what you were just saying, like where you said over the past few weeks or something, you've been like thinking somewhat in like a new direction, or certain things are coming to light that you didn't think about before, in a way of just like
Um,
where's Christ return? Like when's Christ going to return, or is this just going to slowly peter out without an explanation?
yeah. Like, I don't even want to say too much because I know you'll probably put this on your channel or something. But
Yeah,
but
I
like,
bet, I bet,
I'll
I
just
bet.
say, like, throughout my life, I've gone through a few different like belief systems, um, and yeah, they're all still relevant. Even when I was like before, like when I was more into like Buddhism and New Age stuff, before I even really knew what it all was, I had a certain view of what I thought God was, and then I kind of then dashed that away when I became more of a Christian guy. Um, and now I'm sort of going back to what I believe God was to begin with. Um, yeah, like I do believe there is a most high source of creation that is good, but I've started to look at the world and thinking, well, this world is not all good, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
it's not
world
that
is very
prison realm guy.
world is very imbalanced, and there's a lot of mad shit
Yeah,
um, that's been happening since the very beginning of time.
hmm,
So it's like, well, it's an imperfect creation.
yes, yeah,
So I'm just thinking maybe this isn't the world that God created. Maybe there's like nicer places in the universe where like that God created. Um,
yeah,
whereas a lot of Christian people, they will say, oh, you know, all the wrongdoing in this world is done by man because they've gone against God's law, which I think it goes deeper than that. I think it was actually maybe the world is an imperfect creation, like before, like the entities that created this world was moving outside of God's creation. Stuff like that has been coming to mind, you know, whereas before I wasn't even entertaining that kind of thought.
yeah, yeah,
Either way, it still all leads back to what I still believe anyway. And even what all the religious books say is that somehow this world is going to be changed
yeah.
at some point.
I think that's what somewhat like if this is relevant to what you're saying, like I think I hear what you're saying, where like where what I was saying a second ago about how I feel like I know in the Most High. What you just said is like where it doesn't contradict what you believe. It's like I feel like me and you still like almost we like have like a solid faith potentially, where it's like because faith is kind of that magnet into the future, right? Where it's like you kind of like you almost trust the universe in a way. And
Mm.
I don't know, just I know that I feel like I feel like faith is still valid. Where I feel like in the end, it's almost inevitable that you'll return to where you came from in a way. But I
Yeah.
do hear
Well, exactly. Because
what
remember,
you're saying. Yeah.
you know, I won't say too much about it, but remember I told you that time about that encounter I had uh,
I
when I
think so. Yeah.
well, I'll just say on it. I don't care. When I like met Christ, like, and he sort of healed me in the moment. Yeah.
Right.
Um, that's the feeling and the realization I had in that moment. Is like, right, so we're not even here. Like, we are here. When we die, we just kind of go back to the energy source that we actually are. Like, that's what I experienced when I had this thing happen to me. Yeah. And in that
Mm.
moment, no fear. There was no fear of death or nothing like that. So I do think
Mm.
that beyond this reality, we are some sort of just we're just that one with everything. And that's from having like just near death experiences and shit. You know, that's what I'm saying. When people can bash your head with the Bible all they want, but what have people seen in near death experiences, bruv? That's what really makes people realize shit, or mad synchronicities, or mad things that you can't explain.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't
That's
just
what.
learn everything from reading the Bible, bruv. You need to have experiences.
That's what. Like when you say, "Oh, it's still what I believe," somewhat. It's like I think it's important to distinguish like there- there's belief and then there's like direct consciousness of like the absolute truth. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm.
where like I've had psychedelic experiences of radical synchronicity where it's literally like I'm like teleporting and fucking like I can't even explain it. And in that moment, it feels for me, it's not like I believe like when you say oh it's still what I believed God was. Um, and it's not like I don't talk like that sometimes, but what I mean is like I swear there's a difference somewhat between like you can have ideas about what God may be,
Mm.
but then there's also like the direct confrontation where like I experienced like for me the the way that the awakening that I seem to have had was where I'd become it's like I lucid dreamt essentially, whereas I was aware that I was dreaming, and then the dream like synchronized and collapsed. Where it's like I literally knew that I was in a dream, and then it started talking to me through like because it's all one and it's all being dreamt from the same source, and it all
Mm.
kind of like
Yeah.
um, and to me, I was absolutely aware of exactly like because I was right with it. I was talking like but then like you go back into survival mode and you just forget about it and it's like uh, uh, for me I think that's somewhat the core. I was going to bring it up earlier as well as we can talk about all this stuff on the relative plane about like or what they're doing with the vaccines or the
Yeah.
AI is come but it's like is all of this a dream
Yeah.
like even if like the Bible like you can do you're reading the Bible should I believe this book what is
Mm.
this book even made out of it's literally made out of consciousness and
Yeah.
like I feel like that some of the stuff I've been learning it's like yeah it's just it can be direct like God for me like I know that this I feel like this is God I
Yeah.
know there's other layers to it but like it's just the eternal stillness that like is at the bottom of everything and when we talk about the demiurge and that, I feel like the present moment like to be honest I can't help but almost on some levels like I see the present moment at least from my ego's perspective as like it's like a direct confrontation with basically like a prison it doesn't feel like I'm willing this into existence it feels like it's being held here by something that's not me and it doesn't matter where I am in reality I am constantly completely smothered by this like prison that is my body and like I can't get out of this thing
Yeah.
it's like I'm trapped in it all the time it feels like it's like and you don't even know that you're in the prison because you're like it takes years to realize that your body is literally a prison it's like I didn't even ask for this did I it's,
Yeah.
and when it comes to the imperfect world, I agree with what you're saying somewhat. It's like because for me, I got hurt a lot. Like it's like I got born, and I might have made some mistakes. Maybe it was my fault, but it's like when I have trouble with faith sometimes and trusting because I literally experienced like battering depression for years and years. It's like it
Yeah.
feels imperfect, but I tried to turn it within and see how it's my own fault as well, and try to deconstruct it. But I mean, I do think the world is imperfect in a way where I think I see incarnation almost as war with evil. Like that's how I've recontextualized my life. It's like I'm literally at war with pure evil. It's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how it feels.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with most of the things. Well, I relate to some of well, most of the things you're saying.
Yeah,
Um,
it was quite a
yeah.
rough.
When you talk about the meat suit and all that stuff, like that is proper Matrix talk. Like, like I hear, it's quite scary when you go that deep as well,
Yeah,
because you're like, like it's whole. But I do agree with you. Is what you said about when you was having that lucid dream. It's kind of like what I was talking about when I had that encounter, uh,
yeah,
where yeah, I was healed instantly. That's how I felt as well. It just felt like raw, like the real me is outside of this reality.
mm,
And like you said,
yeah,
it's a dream or a simulation or somewhere in between, is what I think.
yeah,
Um, but then again, we have to just play. But that's why I think it is a game, man. It's a game because why else would we be doing this?
How do you mean like a game? Like in term, I mean, it's very much like a video game. I know, but how do you mean?
Yeah, like I think this life is kind of like a video game. But going back to what this guy was saying in this podcast, yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
broke it down that it was made like that, the video game, but people within the video game kind of ended up corrupting the video game, and now we are like trapped in it,
Hmm.
and
Right.
that's why be a return of Christ so that it can then override the corruption of the game.
Oh, so it's almost like because I get a lot of value when I'm contemplating things like this. Like I do actually like. I just posted like a paragraph the other day where it's like I was writing like, what happens when you die in a video game? You go back to level one, and I'm comparing that with real life, and like there's so many similarities, obviously, to a video game and real life. And I hear what you're saying. It's almost like you're in like a free play multiplayer world, and then all of the players run amok basically and fuck it up and start making AI and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
And then it's like the game will reboot from source. It's like that'll be like the return of Christ when it like goes back to the original code or some shit. I don't know when they like
yeah,
reset the world.
yeah. Well, it kind of does need to happen, like because yeah, it kind of needs to happen, man. Um, even taking it to more of a material, um, you know, uh, material level. Yeah, I saw a video today, and it said London in 1995 or something like that, and it was just a few people walking around in central London, but people were happier, and all the comments were saying, "Yeah, it was such a different place. We was all chasing our dreams together. We was all happy, and now it's
Yeah,
completely different." I was thinking, yeah, like I mean, I was a child then, so I don't remember. But I'm thinking, I hear it because it's hard to chase your dream in London, especially because you try and do one thing and someone's just there to try and stop you. Like even today, bro, I got a parking ticket because the back of my car was like half a centimeter over a piece of curb. And I was like, fuck off, you cunt. Like that's the money I made yesterday. Gone. And it's like, fuck off, you. If I, honestly, if I'd have seen that traffic warden within half an hour
yeah,
of that happening, oh, it would have been peak. Luckily, I didn't see him because I probably would have cussed him out differently. Like, I was fuming, bruv. But
yeah.
it's
That's
like,
mental. That's fucking rude, man. Like, yeah,
I'm
it's like all the shit
thinking,
with the ULEZ.
yeah,
Hmm.
because I'm like, I'm actually, trying, yeah, to do certain things, to integrate within this fucking world. And I'm thinking, bruv, like, I made this money yesterday, and
Yeah,
now I pay this fucking fine if I choose to. Obviously, I appealed it as well, so hopefully I don't, or maybe I can just get out of it altogether. But like, I was just thinking, nah, that you can't even do a little thing. You can't even just go to work for one day and park your car up without some fucking Matrix agent cunt
yeah.
trying to just take some shit. There needs to be a little bit of leeway. Like, where can I get my little leverage in this fucking world? Because everything's just saturated. And yeah, bro.
I hear what you're saying, like in terms of 'cause payday Monsanto refers to those what you're saying with like the ticket warden. He calls them like sharks, and it's like in society there's like from multiple angles. There's like it's like things like the bailiffs and things, or I don't know the full nature of them, but it's like there's like you get letters from your door from like organizations. You owe us this, or like just little things like that. Where it's like. I don't know, like I had a moped or something, and I didn't like take it off the road or something, and they're like putting loads of letters through my door and telling me to like that I'm going to get a fine, and like I mean I get it, but like it's if you like you're saying you're actually trying to like integrate and like work with society, and even when you try from like an honest place, you'll still get like there's like these like parasites that are trying to give you tickets left, right, and center, like just to earn. It's like money kind of corrupts it in a way. I can't remember where it stemmed from, but yeah, you were saying in what was it 1995? It was like a lot more wholesome in London, you were saying, and then like it's like got like in the past 20, 30 years got like drastically different.
In this, when the date of the video, I must have been about 4 or 5, so I don't know. But I looked at the video. It does look different, and people are smiling for a start.
Yeah,
And then I was comments, and obviously it's people that were probably like, I don't know how old they are now, but people that are like, obviously from that time, and they were just explaining things like it was just like, I don't know. It seems like they just had a fairer deal. They could go to work and they could afford to buy a house. They could
yeah,
do this and that.
definitely.
Whereas like we have a different deal on our hands. Everything's already been fucked.
I mean, you are like I know what you're on about, and like there's so many sources that go into like depths of this in terms of like whereas like the younger generations, I heard some people speaking about it, where it's like if you look at the statistics of like the cost of living and the employment rates and things, it seems like where like what I've been doing is not rare for just me. It seems like a lot of the youth is doing it, where like you like even when you do work you're still it's still rigged like against you somewhat, like it can be, especially with the 9 to 5, where it's like you're like it's not as fair of a game, where it's like you can't just go to work and you're like guaranteed to be able to like, because like one man's wage not long ago used to be able to like feed like a whole family and
Yeah,
provide like a house, etc. um so my mum's just poking her head in the door. um, but yeah, like now it's like you can work full time and it's like you still like you get your paycheck and then it's like immediately deducts your bills, one, two, three, four, and then you're with nothing. And I've heard some people describe it as like a lot of the youth, like they just create like a little comfortable fucking cave with their fucking coffee and their zoo, and they just hide under the fucking black, because like you can try and go out in the world and that, but the script is kind of rigged where like you have to do something online and slowly carve your way out of it, because the mainstream, like the status quo, it don't provide for you anymore. You can't just go and get a job and buy a house. You'll get a job and you'll just get abused and sucked dry from every angle, like
yeah.
kind of. I don't know.
That's why when you think about it, people like me and yourself that have at least established a presence online are doing the right thing, because you're giving yourself more. You're kind of giving yourself infinite possibilities potentially to
Yeah,
better your life. If even right now, you could, or who knows, maybe a load of new people might find me and purchase my album, and I'll be like,
yeah.
oh, you know, that's a bit, that's better off than I was yesterday. But you're relying on the system itself, and you're just working, and that's it. It's kind of like that. Those are the real NPCs, because they're not really even using their brain at all.
Is what they yeah. I
I'm
mean,
trying to balance both right now. I'm trying to balance both things so that I can actually um prosper my life within this flipping matrix. And it's like, fuck, it's yeah, it's not easy.
yeah. I mean, it does. What kind of? I feel like I just lost the point I was going to say, kind of. But like, I mean, in terms of like for me, because I can have a good time and I can like enjoy my life and stuff, and but like every now and then it just keeps returning to the fact that I'm basically broke and that this whole system is like stacked against me. It's like, you know what I mean? I can
Yeah,
have a good few days, but then eventually it's back to clock the fuck in. Like someone's got to flip the burgers, kind of. And it's just, I'm not saying like I have to be a victim to that. I guess in a way I see it as like a test. In a way, it's like if you can overcome this via continuing to like cultivate something online, you'll be proud of yourself when you actually make it out the other
mm,
end. Like, and I'm
mm,
not saying anything about you. I'm talking from me at least. It's like it's tricky. No one's going to save me, and 9 to 5 ain't going to save me. But I see it as like you can only save yourself. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like if we keep doing what we're doing here, keep making music and that, yeah, like you said, there's infinite possibilities. You could just make the right connection with the right person, and before you know it, you never know. You could to carve your own way out of this trap. I feel like could make you very proud of yourself in a way, but
Oh,
also it just kind
I,
of feels a bit like bullshit.
to be
Hmm?
honest with you, I think that is it. That is, I think, in my personal opinion, that is kind of like the game we're playing in this
Yeah,
world is escape at all costs. Otherwise, you're just gonna like, because I do think if you could do that, then you will enjoy the world more. You know what I mean? If you could figure out a way out, like I know there's probably people we could even name that have this life that we're talking about, and they can probably hop on a plane and go wherever they want, whenever they want. That's true freedom.
mm.
I would love that, and I think it's not that far fetched, really. It's just like you said, it's finding the right connection or just doing the thing that's needed. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I do. I agree with what you're saying in terms of like where it's I feel like uh like there's this podcast kind of like episode I was listening to recently, and I've heard it like on and off for years, and it's called like Division versus Unity, the engine of reality. And like I have an intuition that like I feel like God, the fucking like the center point, like it just like I feel like it decided to like divide itself
Mm.
from infinity and like trap itself into a game to escape. In terms of what you were saying, I'm not saying you agree with me, but like when you say you feel like the game is to escape, I feel like it's divided itself, which is why everything is separate the way that it is and it has been. Whereas it's clearly not like this center of like the pinnacle of infinity at the center of the universe, Godhead. It's like it's divided. Like people are getting like there's all sorts of stuff going on. You're working jobs and that. You go to school, whatever. And it seems very divided from like a kind of a pinnacle like divinity. But I feel like we come from that and we're going to go back to that where like
Yeah.
the process the process is a reunification where like I feel like we divided God decided to play a game with itself, so it like separated itself from home. That's why there's this fundamental homesickness that I've speak about these days more, and that ties in with like the demiurge, where
Yeah.
it's like I feel like fundamentally almost homesick in a way where it's like there feels like there's an elephant in the room, there's something missing. I feel like that something missing will have the loose ends tied when we return to where we came from, where I feel that we'll discover a new psychedelic. We'll discover when Babylon collapses that the mountains are actually ancient trees, and then like we'll keep following this breadcrumb trail.
Mm.
Oh, new DMT out now! Surprise! It was just a dream.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've not. Have you done DMT?
I did once
Mm.
recently. So,
Was it how was that like?
um, long story short, like I mean, I took it with Mr. Nature. It was like Changa. I went to Spain and I sat down. They were like, "I Mr. Nature here, Miss Sunshine here." They're kind of smiling. I inhaled it and I asked for another drag, and then like everything was turning into little balls, like where like uh, yeah, I had like one or two drags, and it was really really tough. And then my visual field became pinballs, where like if every little speck of color turned into like a ball, like you can almost imagine you could put a filter over the camera right now, or
Yeah.
um, you could do like if it was like pixelated but made out of circles, and it was kind of getting more and more intense. And I was like, as these pinball things, pixels were like taking over my visual field. I was like, I'm not going to be able to have another toke, is what I said as I was flipping out. And then it just went, and I literally was in the middle of white nothing, and like yeah, and I got these symbols, bang, 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 and it was like a cross, and then like a different thing. It was like the keyboard symbols, like one at a time, very simple, uh,
Okay.
like emojis almost, just like bang, 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 and then I fucking I looked down or something, and like there was this like white pyramid, and it just fucking bang and like hit me in the fucking nose like really hard. And I think that was actually the DMT because it's really really strong. And yeah, I just got fucking like literally felt like I got punched by God, and like it was happening so fast. Like it was like literally like beyond the beyond. Like literally, it blows every conversation you've ever had completely out of the water. I looked at Miss Sunshine. She was like smiling at me, like, "How is it?" Kind of like when we were on about the demiurge. I was looking at this girl, and she was smiling at me, and like her skin, everything was completely crawling with like the fabric of the unit. Like it was like literally melting, and like everything was made out of like it was like literally like it's here now. It's like this. It's like literally what you're made out of. It's like,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was so intense. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on long,
No,
but that's what happened anyway. And I forgot it. It's like it was over before it even began. I was just like, what the fuck? Like it was like you are never ready for it, and it was fucking terrifying. Like all of the walls and the ground, it was like screaming. Like the fabric of it was like it's slippery as fuck. Like, and I was like,
like,
what the fuck?
are you saying it was like everything around you was alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. And yeah, yeah, that's mad. I've never done it. I've done mushrooms twice, which was interesting. Um, yeah, man. I'm intrigued by those things, but I tend to stay away from them, to be honest. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think,
I know. I mean,
uh,
your tune Breakout was about shrooms, wasn't it, for the most part?
yeah, 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 yeah. You
You
know,
said,
I
I'm
never.
not stupid, I just use it till I feel it.
Yeah, that's what I did, man. I've only taken them twice. It was quite a small dose. And it was that's why it was nice because that's how I done it. You know, I didn't do it like on a mad one. Um, the
Yeah.
first time was nice. The second one, I wouldn't call it a bad trip, but I did see some scary shit when I done it the second time.
Mm.
And that was enough. Both times I've seen dragons, bro. What's that? What's that about?
Mad. Yeah, I think I recall like somewhat. I think we spoke about it on our old podcast. That's sort of still
Yeah,
sat on my computer.
yeah. I need to watch
Um,
that again, man, because that I know that was good, and I know like so. Basically, I don't want to say too much about this. I at the moment, like I haven't released a song since November, right?
yeah.
But it's because I feel it in my spirit. There's something else happening. Like I'm not. I'm waiting to get the confirmation of what I'm going to be doing next, right?
Mm.
Part of what I want to do is I want to write a book um,
Yeah.
about a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the podcast, yeah. Because all of my experiences all point to, and all of my theories on the different religions, they all point to, I don't know, like I just think if I put it in a book in the right format and I took my time on it, I think I could really do something good to break down, like to further push the exposing of what this world is.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I
there's
would
only
like
so many
that.
times. Yeah, there's only so many times I can. I mean, I could write, and I could make an album like this as well. But I feel like my brain is expanded to the point where I kind of need to do more stuff than just rap about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to like, I need to keep on evolving. I can't remember why I just said that, but
Um,
but uh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's why I think like it would be the book would be received well. I think by people who follow me already and like in the like-minded kind of communities. But I also think it would be quite. I reckon it would make some people very angry as well. Like people who aren't quite familiar with this sort of shit, or even people that do already know me. Actually, I think would get quite angry at some of the things I say because you know some people wait. If you wake people up in the wrong way, it can send them in a downward spiral. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
And some awakening can be dangerous. So it's
Yeah.
like I want to put all of my knowledge and all of my theories and experience into a book, but I think knowledge can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so that's another thing I'm battling with is like, rah, veg, I
Shall
could,
we let him join?
yeah. I was chatting
Yeah.
to him
I
earlier.
tried to get him to join many times. I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry, I just got distracted by him. What was you saying? Sorry.
In a nutshell, I'm saying like I want to put all of my knowledge into a book, but I think it could potentially do more harm than good.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say, when you say, like, where they say beware of like unearned wisdom, you say like knowledge can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
I heard someone that said he was like a fork can be dangerous in the wrong hands. This guy I was talking to, one sec, Veg, and like, but yeah, me, I feel like I kind of like I was a prime example of like I'm listening to podcast about like these esoteric and I'm not ready to hear it. It's like, and that's why I'm like spiraling off because I'm doing all these shrooms that I'm not mature enough for. I'm listening to all these like esoteric spiritual teaching. It's just like I am like the embodiment of like wisdom in the wrong hands.
Yeah. I hear that. I mean, I reckon we're all like that on some level as well, because yeah, like
It's just, Bespoke just said like I'm too far gone when it's to wisdom, but in the wrong way. Because like I'm so wise, but Veg is here telling me to get off my phone and shit. Because I'm just sat on the internet. It's like I'm so wise, but I need to actually put it into fruition. Sorry, I didn't fucking cut you off there. What are you saying, Veg? You hear right? See, that's the truth right there.
That's why I
Veg,
really came just to say,
this is the only live I've had with you, Veg, bro. You better not leave it there, bro. That's it. See, look, everyone's joining now, bro, because you're in here. Yeah, see, me and Ryan are debating the truth, and Veg has just come and cut through all the noise right there. That is the truth right there. It's
the frequency.
what you saying, Veg? What do you think about all them? You see, you like the book, but you don't beg Jesus. What do you think about all the Yogananda business and shit? Then, in the end,
I think that the world is mental. The Caucasians say that Jesus was white. The Africans say Jesus was black. But the truth is, they're both wrong. He was Oriental. He never wrote his own stuff. He never had a pencil. He was at one with the Lord when his disciples assembled. He did some meditation down in the temple. He spent a lot of time in the pool.
I don't know about Oriental. Like, I reckon he was
Jesus was
brown.
Oriental
How could he have been Oriental, bruv?
because he was.
But
I
why?
don't even know what that
Why do you
means.
think that?
You don't know what that means?
No,
How can you not know what that
I
means?
don't.
Wait, hold on. Actually, what does it mean? I just assumed what I thought it meant.
It's,
What do you think? What do you mean?
he's from Asia, like one of them areas, like Chinese man and that, Oriental.
Where Where did you hear that he's from China?
He is. Look at most of the people like around those areas, the Oriental people, yeah. Like Buddhism's very popular in them countries, and they practice meditation, like connecting with God through meditation. In the Western worlds and all that, they're just talking about Jesus, and it's all theoretical. It's not actually renouncing the senses and going inside and esoteric wise actually connect with the central point within themselves and connecting with God at the same time. It's just theoretical, which is in the head. It's a possibility. I think if Yogananda's saying it, he's tapped in. So it's a possibility. You can't prove what he was. You can say Jesus was a black or African or white, or you can't prove what he was. But I
Some
just
people
think it's a funny
would
bar.
say Jesus was an alien. I think that one's a bit far fetched, but yeah.
What if Jesus was all of these different timelines could be dreamt by infinite mind, and one day Jesus might be dreamt white, and maybe you'll dream a different dream one day where Jesus is black. Because what if this whole thing is a hallucination?
You just you are hallucination or oxen. For you, it is
Oh,
hallucination. So I'd agree with that.
What if there's no difference? Like, what I mean is, like, people go, like, you could say, was Jesus white or was Jesus black? It's the same as, is the earth round or is it flat? It's like, what if it's a dream?
They're saying Jesus is in the bottom right of the screen.
So you can dream anything. Jesus in the bottom right. Yeah, that's Jesus iconic hat right there. I like your green hat, bro, that you picked up from the Bird's Eye Mums. Your new identity. That's the Bird's Eye hat. You should start selling them fucking hats, bro.
Mm.
No, but then everyone would have one. It wouldn't be original anymore, would it?
Where'd you get it from? Do you even know?
I have no idea, man. I just bought. This is a backup one. My other one's in the countryside. Come on, we can't start going on the Bird's Eye stories again, man, because it's gonna like. We got to keep it moving. We got to keep it moving, people, man.
You're wearing the Bird's Eye jumper, bro. But yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, I guess you'll have to.
Who's Neil Davis?
It's one of your fans, bro.
I've got too many fans, isn't it?
Veg. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, do you think? What do you think about me? Me and Ryan were talking about whether or not this realm is perfect. Yeah, in terms of like it's like an imperfect realm. What do you think about all the evil, bruv? What do you think about incarnating it? And then your dad was a bastard. He beat me and him.
Evil is not a force to resist. It's just like a dirty window that doesn't allow the light to shine through.
Mm. I like that.
Right. So
you're on point with that, Veg. I can't lie. That was actually, yeah. You put that across well, and I rate that.
I don't know if I received
that's
it the same
wisdom.
way as Ryan.
That's a wicked wisdom right there.
I don't know if I received it
like
the same way as Ryan.
What?
Sorry, I was saying I don't know if I received it the same way as Ryan. You said sort of evil is like a dirty window that don't let the light shine through.
Evil is not a force to resist. It's like a dirty window that doesn't allow the light to shine through.
Yeah, because I mean, all you got to do is clean the window, really, innit?
But some people that are doing evil, they've not cleaned the window, so the light can't shine through. So you just let them be the dirty window, and then just carry on your life.
Oh right, yeah, I guess I get you.
You don't resist it. You just say, "Oh, that's a dirty window," and then you carry on about your life.
Mm. Yeah, God knows. Don't know.
The thing is, the context of the conversation was way deeper than that before you come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost like I was like bringing it up, and I was like, I could bring up anything in the world. Why would I take the conversation here? Where can we take the conversation? Let's take it somewhere. Come on, Veg. Intrinsically, bring something. What are you thinking, Veg? Recently, what's going down? Anyone? Ryan, bring something to the table right now. This is the conscious table right now.
The conscious table. Okay, all right.
Everything's conscious, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, the conversation we were having was conscious. It was breaking down the simulation down to a T. But
yeah, me and Ryan were going for it, bro. We was actually deconstructing the whole demiurge and that. Like, it was a deep thing, bro.
But yeah, actually, I'm a bit lost for words. Actually, I ain't really got anything else to add right now. I don't want to force it.
I don't know, bro. What about Veg? Tell me about. Ryan touched on a little bit of his couple shroom trips that he's had. Come on, Veg. I know you're not really a shroom guy, but tell me about what you've seen in that realm.
Don't do shrooms.
Well, what happened when you did do them? Did you?
I just hallucinated, and then I come back into my body, and I was in the same place that I was before I hallucinated.
But what was it like? Did you have a nice?
It was like, ooh.
How do you know that this ain't a hallucination? Veg, how do you know this ain't a hallucination? Like, how do you know you're not dreaming?
For you, it is a hallucination. No, we are dreaming. This is just a dream. We'll wake up one day and think, oh, that was a dream. Or for some people, it's a nightmare.
Right. Well, give some steam. It's Veg, you look like you've had a joint.
I haven't had a joint.
Sorry, you're just tired.
Tired.
He's been smoking vegetables.
To be smoking herbs. You look like you've had bread and a joint. What do we think about the How do we actualize the mass awakening? And I'm trying to reignite the spark.
Yourself up, man. Don't go around spending time trying to wake anyone else up. Wake yourself up.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. But then what? Like, I get you. Veg is just going to give me this advice.
Well,
He's going to tell me.
We do the time we're given then.
Reclaim the parts of yourself that you lost from the love that you never got. Build the bridge back to yourself. Find out who you are and deliver who you are to the world.
I like that. Deliver who you are to the world. Yeah.
Reclaim. Our job here is to reclaim the parts of ourselves that we lost from the love that we never got. Build the bridge back to ourselves. Find out who we are and then deliver who we are to the world.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we need to regroup. You know what I mean? Like, we know when you're getting onto me, like, oh, you ain't released tunes or whatever. It's like, bro, like, I'm not a factory. I don't want to ever churn out music because of the reason of trying to stay relevant, bro. Sometimes I just need to refuel my spirit until it's time. You know what I mean? That's what you're talking about, isn't it?
Real. For me, I've got a couple of tunes left in me. The thing is, I've got 2 tunes written. I've still got other tunes. I've got literally an album, a 9-track album ready to go, like including
Like
all the other ones.
yellow things talking.
What?
What
are you saying?
Sorry, I'm just being very mature. That yellow thing you were pointing the camera at, yeah? It looked like when you were talking, it looked like that was what was talking.
Who's got the studio? I just need to get in the studio. I can get a 9-track album done. I've still got to leave that junk on the shelf, come with me into the darkness, back to the garden. And I've got wise words, I've got growth I can release, and I've got the worm tune that goes, your mum's wormed up, and your dad's wormed up, your sister's wormed up, and your bro's wormed up, and your aunt's wormed up, your uncle's wormed up, your grand and your nan's wormed up, your cousin's wormed up.
Is that the one that goes, you write a whole shopping list for them?
Yeah,
something like that.
Your mum's wormed up, and your dad's wormed up, your sister's wormed up, and your bro's wormed up, and your uncle's wormed up, your uncle's wormed up, your nan's wormed up, your granddad's wormed up. Oh yeah, your cousin's wormed up. That tune's called "Your Worms Up." You want to jump on it, Ryan?
Yeah.
What happens?
So, yeah, there's been a lot of politics going on recently. Go on, Veg. Also, what
there has
this like?
it? Yeah, make sure you get me on at least one verse on your album, though.
Yeah, man, 100%. We need grit, man. We need the baton holding grit.
I know, bro. Come on, like the grit will always be there, even if it's hibernating. The grit can always come. You know what I mean? I can always pull it out the bag, even if I'm in a hibernation season right now. I can't lie, but if you ever need that grit, I'm here.
The extra grit residuals.
Yeah, that residual grit.
I feel like that your hibernation season, from what I spoke to you, Ryan, I feel like you might be going through a bit transformation phase-ish, maybe. Seems like you're reevaluating and thinking.
Yeah, 100%.
Evolving.
And just like bringing, there's certain things I need to do, man. Like I can do more than just music, you know. And it needs to be. Nothing can be rushed. Everything needs to happen at the right time.
Because the thing is, Ryan, man, what people don't know about him, they see him doing like the boxing and the music and that. But what a lot of people don't realize that he actually used to be a stripper.
You dickhead.
You didn't see that one coming. I had to slip that
No,
one
I
I
knew
in.
you.
actually, I actually nearly did see it
Can,
coming, to be
can I get?
honest.
I
Did
knew
you
you
see
were
that one
gonna say something
coming?
stupid. I knew you was gonna
Yeah,
say something weird.
Can
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah. Like I didn't know
If
what exactly, but it
if
was
anyone
bait from
thought
the
that
start.
joke was
100%.
funny, can I get some fire signs or some LOLs please on the screen if anyone thought that joke was funny? Because I'm just trying to really, I just want to show off and make people laugh. So because I'm trying to impress people, that's the reason why I said it. So if anyone was impressed, can you write a LOL signs on the screen?
Just you need to play that part of yourself, innit? That's what you're doing.
I just think it's ridiculous the way we just all play up for nothing, can it? That's what we used to do in school. It's so ridiculous. Like
What
got to grow up. We got to grow up, man. Look, we got to
you?
grow up,
I think
man.
That's
you need to.
you, veg.
We're good. We're good over here.
Yeah, yeah, you did the Elevate Festival as well.
I did
Making
what?
I can't remember what
Show
it
me.
was. What did you say at Elevate Festival
Everyone
was?
show some titties to Michael DeSouza.
What?
That's it. Just fucking titties out for Michael, I think it was.
So
Yeah,
what do you think? Do you reckon me and Ryan need to do some tunes or what?
yeah. I think that basically, I think that everyone can do infinitely more than they're doing, and if they want. So it's like, yeah, you two should do tunes, yeah, but like you should make fucking multiple albums for fuck's sake, because it's like, hey, why don't we just go 10 times further than
Yeah.
we've gone, because we can. There's infinite innovation, there's no limit. So yes, please get some tunes and then do like hella podcasts like this, and we'll do the whole deconstruction thing forever, and then we're gonna build a whole fucking community from the ground up, and we're gonna do daily accountability calls, and we're gonna fucking make albums with the whole fucking community. And then before we know it, we're gonna be
need to invite Ben on. Can you invite my man Ben?
Okay, someone said stop smoking weed and you'll create more. I wholeheartedly agree with
I
that.
don't
That's why
smoke weed.
I'm not saying you do. It's just I'm agreeing with Jenna.
oh
Her
yeah,
because it's true.
yeah, she is right. I think it's a balance, but yeah.
Yeah, but if you cut it, trust me. Whatever I know from experience, since when I cut out weed, I've done bare shit. Like, it's mad.
Yeah, that tends to happen to me. This is Veg's friend Ben. I'm not
Yo,
familiar with this guy. Yo.
Ben.
You're right.
Um,
Yeah.
but,
Come as Clint Eastwood today, didn't you know?
How do you
didn't even
manage
know
to
that.
do it? How do you manage to do it, Ben? To always be happy.
Don't know, just be grateful and happy that you're fucking here, mate. Some people ain't.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Some people are just misers, isn't it?
Mute,
I
honey.
feel like no matter how little you have, you can almost kind of have like less in a way. It was like half the time I'm like in terms of the gratitude, it's like you don't notice like how much you do have, because you're like, you know, like it's just you don't even notice that you've still got all your limbs and shit. It's like if you just got into an accident and everything went south, or like when you get ill, you're like very grateful for what you took for granted. When you lose your health, all of a sudden it's like we don't even realize how blessed we are. Like we don't have a cold right now. That's so cool. I can actually like not have a
Colds are
sore nose.
good. Cold is
Yeah,
when your food you eat turns into mucus, your body detoxes you. So cold is your body detoxing. So when people got a cold, I say congratulations. Cold is a blessing.
yeah. I have heard Dr. Robert Morse's clips on that. I do kind of agree with you. I kind of don't want to leave in the dust. Like we were talking about the weed, and Jenna is in the chat still. And like I'm pretty sure Jenna, am I right that you said like that? I'm pretty sure you completely like I said like, oh, weed can be a medicine for some people, and I think you were like, nah, weed sucks. But I think it's a balance. Like I think it can make you kind of zombie and stuff,
Yeah.
and sleepy, and make you create less. But I think it can definitely help some people in some situations. But I do agree, when you quit weed, you tend to wake up and the
Jenna
cylinders start firing again.
wants to hear Ben sing. Go on, Ben.
Huh?
Jenna wants to hear Ben
I'm not
sing.
singing right now. I'm trying to soothe my voice. I just made a tea and
I
honey.
think Jenna
It's
would
a
be a
bit
good wifey.
raspy.
I think Jenna could be a good wifey for you, Ben. I think you two would be a good like couple together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you reckon, Jenna?
Oh, when are you on? When are you making the thing? The next festival, the next Fezzy.
Sing me Elvis a lullaby.
Love me. No, I can't do it. Next time, I'm trying to heal my voice. Trying to heal myself. But yeah.
Well, listen.
What's everyone saying
Have
then?
you
What's
guys
occurring?
heard my new single called Fully Autonomous or not?
Go on, sing it.
Fully autonomous. That's how it goes, isn't it?
It goes fully autonomous.
Fully.
What are you talking about, Reg? If you'd have dropped a tune, I
Oh,
would have
hey,
known about it by now. You're lying, bro.
I've dropped Beat That Bully and Fully Autonomous, 2 tunes.
When did you drop Fully Autonomous? Like,
About 7 days ago, 10.
you ain't done a very good job at promoting it, bro. I live on my phone.
So you didn't even know about it?
Nah, bro. You're doing a shit. You need to fire your manager, bro.
Who's your manager?
My manager's a G.
Who's your manager?
My manager is Michael D'Souza.
I knew it.
Is it? I mean,
it's your herbs,
I don't know
Benj.
why I laughed at that. He could very well be. Actually, he'd be the best manager. To be fair, he's the logistics fucking geezer.
Combined.
What we got here, Ben? What are you showing me? Herbs.
My little herb collection in my glass jars. I love it. Now look, these are yours, Veg. Astrologist root.
Straggler's root.
That's the one. Got the hawthorn berry there. The Arfine berry.
So, Ved,
Got some mullein leaf from you as well there.
in terms of everyone being wormed up and that in Babylon, Veg, how do we solve this? How do we get these herbs?
By drinking
how do we?
tea. By drinking wormwood tea. Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
Drink some of that tonight, man. Ben, you need to be drinking that wormwood every day.
Well, wormwood. I know I should really.
Some lad,
Because I eat meat, dairy, everything.
drink some with.
One big zoo going on in there, mate.
Drink some wormwood.
How are we? Here's a question: how do we abolish poverty? How about that? I don't know why I'm asking you this right now, Veg. That's kind of coming.
I think that's one thing we're trying to do in life. I think you're going to end up, if you try and abolish policy, you're going to lead a long, boring life, man.
I said poverty, bro. Like you say, everyone needs to get the wormwood.
Abolish poverty for yourself.
Yeah, but so why? You're right. Yeah, you're right. But how do we get wormwood to the whole world then? Because basically, parasites are fucking demons.
Rap about it. You got to make a song about it. You got to rap about it. Get it out there.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, like Veg said, you got to deliver yourself to the world. That's the life purpose. We got to get all of the worms out of all of the people, and that's how we can stop the demons from infiltrating. So, I don't know what I'm saying. To be fair, that's the best I got. Someone give me something, Veg. Go on. What's the most gnosis on your mind right now? Veg? Tell me, if this is the last message you're ever going to leave the earth, what is it, bro?
If you want to be given
Veg's final message.
Final words would be: if you want to be given everything, then give everything up.
Is that not the demiurge?
Yeah. I don't know what the demiurge is.
Basically, let me ask you this, Veg. Are you in a prison realm right now? Like, isn't your body a prison?
Not really.
Well, are you willing it into existence, or are you trapped inside of it right now?
I wouldn't say I was trapped. I'd say it's a pleasure.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, but did you choose this? Did you choose to come here?
I don't know.
Or was you forced into it?
I could have chose. I'm not too sure.
Give everything up and you have everything. I've heard, who did I hear that from? That's like some Yogananda business.
The Book of the Way.
Oh yeah.
What, choosing this life, you mean?
Yeah.
The Book of the Way. I've actually got that book, right? Veg, you actually the reason I've got this. Well, Quintessence actually gifted it to me, but 2 years ago, Veg told me about the Tao Te Ching, the Book of the Way, and he was the first person to tell me about that, and I got it upstairs. So I remember that quote: "Give everything up, and you will have everything." That's a very interesting one. But do you embody it though? Because you end up just getting dragged back into survival. It's kind of hard to maintain these airy-fairy ideas somewhat, but I am with you. Where's my Tao Te Ching? Oh, I got the bag of the Gita. I don't know how much of spirituality is a psyop.
Right, man. The soul combo is a psyop.
Oh, he's a psyop, mate.
I didn't even hear that.
He just body bagged you a oxen.
Yeah, I didn't even hear it. That's why it's like, it
came-
fell completely flat.
He just came in and body bagged you in one go there, like, and then laughed. He's deep, man. You're a deep guy. You just fucked him up, man.
I didn't even.
That's joke.
I'm only joking.
No, you got to take
I'm
that.
game. See you lot later.
I say sorry. Say sorry, Ben. You murked him. I say sorry. You can't do it like that, man. Come on, man. Have some compassion.
Bro, I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you, bro. One love.
It's
Whatever
all
you're
love.
doing, keep doing.
Sound.
No, I'm going to bed. Peace and love.
Bless, man.
Bless.
Hey,
Bless.
In a bit, Saunders.
take care, man.
Love.
What did he even say? Veg just dipped as well. It's like, no, it's just me and you again. Hello, Ryan.
Yo,
Yo. I guess them two had dipped.
yeah, what were we saying? What were we talking about?
Fuck knows. I didn't even hear what I said. Oh, I don't know how much of spirituality is a psyop. And then Ben said something and laughed, and I didn't even hear it. And then apparently it was a violation to me. And Veg was.
I didn't hear either. I just heard that it was a violation.
That's Instagram Live is annoying sometimes like that, but it's stupid because it's like he made a joke and everyone laughed and I didn't even hear it. It was like aimed at me.
Who's in the live? Who's it?
Watching right now? I don't know. It's just me and you here. Who's watching? I don't know. It doesn't really let me see.
Yeah.
And right now, I think just Jenna and a friend of mine, a local friend. But...
Okay. I thought earlier on someone was reading comments and I couldn't see them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. There's been quite a few comments, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like, to be fair, Reggie's coming on a more positive vibe than we were. I think we was going in quite. Sometimes it can be quite dark, isn't it?
Yeah, I almost I didn't mean to just get distracted and diverted and stuff because it's like we was going where we were going, but I wanted Veg to join in a way because I've been trying to get him on a live for me and him done a whole Instagram live ages ago on his account, and I was like, oh, I beg you let me download that or something. It's not really that deep, but I like having these clips with people sometimes because it's just cool. So I wanted Veg to join because every time he tries to join, it doesn't work because Instagram's just buggy. So he wanted to join, and I was like, yeah, let's get Veg in here. But yeah, it was it did divert the whole energy pretty. Don't know. It's hard to juggle the Instagram live sometimes. Anyway, it's at the beginning, it's that we didn't even know what we were saying. Kind of, it's me, you, and Veg were in. It's What should we talk about?
We were just going on mate. Yeah, man. Hibernation thing. What was that word you said to me a minute ago about my hibernation? Use a word you said.
Oh, I think it was like metamorphosis, maybe, or like evolution, or something like that. I don't know.
But that is another good one.
Yeah. What was it?
Oh, that's gonna bug me now.
Um,
Something like transformation, but maybe it was just transformation.
yeah. I was thinking that a second ago. I don't know.
You know what though?
I
From before you knew me, like I've done loads of transformations in my life, but this RS one was the best. Was the one that caught the most traction in all of my transformations. Like some people kind of know me for doing that. It's like just sort of coming back as a new guy, like with a new name and shit. Like I'm not gonna change my name, obviously, because this is my name. I purposely did that so that I couldn't change it again, because it's like once you've used your real name, you can't really change it.
That's how you get the what is it, the gravity of reality on your Spotify. That fucking tune that ain't even yours.
That's not
I
me.
know. Or just if anyone's wondering, it's just these fucking music distribution things, like they're a bit broken. Like there's multiple people called Ryan Sanders, so they just like I don't know, they just mess up his accounts. Like Ryan's got tunes that ain't even his on his profile, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Kind of like, I mean, I was thinking of it like this morning. Like, I got out of a cold shower and I was just looking in the mirror, and I realized that the person that's staring back at me in the mirror is not even like a fraction of who I used to be, like at all. Like it's crazy. Like you're inside of like an incarnation that is maturing and evolving. Like think of when you was a kid. It's like it's almost like the way that I put it. Like it was just a thought that I got earlier today. I was like, if you're always transforming and evolving, and like who actually are you? Because like who you were when you was a kid has died. Like basically that version of you as a kid is literally not even here. So it's like, who are you? Like, because you're gonna get old, you're gonna look in the mirror in 30 years, and you're not gonna even be who you are now. So like, who actually are you? Kind of.
You know what?
It's weird.
I like what you're saying, yeah, and I kind of needed to hear that as well, because I kind of feel like that's the reasoning behind, like, I don't know, I feel like this transformation I'm going through is kind of a difficult one. I don't know, maybe it's just I don't know. It's probably just how it goes, isn't it? But I think that's what it's going to be soon. It's going to be like, who the fuck are you, bro?
Yeah, well,
I
it can
thought
be like ego death.
yeah, that as well. It's almost like I thought I knew who you were. Now you're just someone else. Like,
Yes. Well, I think it depends as well. Again, like how much like you're at what distance you can see your thoughts sometimes. Because like sometimes I can take shrooms and I'm like, oh, I'm back. Where did I go? Like it's like when I take them, I wake up or something. It's like I get another level of awareness, and like the only reason I say that is because like I feel like uh, you can like just a meditation, like where you really like deconstruct your thoughts. You won't even know who you are at that point. Where it's like I just mean it's all in the mind, kind of. Where like if you start thinking down a different lane, or you start having new insights, like I was saying, is that I feel like I can almost induce awakenings. Where like if I start to self-reflect, I start to meditate, I can just like deconstruct my whole identity. It's kind of weird. Where I don't know, like for me, like the psychedelics, kind of with the mind expansion, like it was so rapid for me that I was literally being like reborn like every day. It's still happening. Like I might seem like who I was before, but like I literally feel like I'm a brand new person like every day. And to be honest, it's true because like you can be. Doesn't the Bible speak about being reborn in the present moment to an extent? Like how light is like brand new right now, and it's like I don't know.
yeah,
That's kind of a weird way to say it. They say like in God there is no darkness, like in him there is no darkness at all or something. And I feel like there's like a perpetual rebirth in the present moment where it's like you're always brand new, like right now.
Yeah, technically that is true. Yeah.
Whereas like your past is imaginary; it doesn't even exist, kind of.
Yeah, and that's funny that you said that as well, because I've had a little while ago I had some weird comments pop up on my Instagram, and someone was like, "Oh, don't forget the songs that you put out like before," type shit, and like I have a rough idea of who it is or what group like or friends they're from,
Hmm.
just because of the people they were following. It was like a fake account, like with a fake picture and shit. And I was just thinking to myself, like, the only people that could be were people that knew me at a certain time. And that just makes me wonder, like, why do they care so much? Because it's not like they were supportive of what I was doing then. And to want me to be like, what do you want me to do? Like, pin my old music video from 12 years ago to the top of my YouTube channel of what I'm doing today? Like, it's like they think I'm trying to like run away from something, and it's like, well, not really. I'm just a completely different man. Like, what
Yeah,
is it like? It's like
I mean,
it's like me finding your old YouTube channel,
mm,
yeah, that
yeah,
one that you
exactly. Yeah,
when you're like 13, and
yeah,
me sort of looking at you like, oh, but don't forget that video you done, bro, when you're 13. Don't act like we don't see that, Oxen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
almost like they want you to be known for the thing you done when you were just not quite you yet, and it's like,
yeah, no, yeah. What's that? Is you're dragging the past into the present. That's like, don't act like you've changed. Remember that video of you 10 years ago when you was like, I completely hear exactly what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's
yeah,
because yeah, from my perspective, because like when you say running away from, it's not like you're running away from your old self or something. Like I've openly admitted, like as I mature, I've I put a video up the other day. I said I'm trying to distance myself as like Oxen from who I used to be. Like, I want to literally pull. I want a new name. I want to leave Oxen in the dust. I want to like reinvent myself because that's natural maturity. If this guy's like, oh, don't forget who you were, it's like, yeah, I'm obviously gonna evolve and mature into the future. Everyone makes mistakes and you learn from your mistake. I'm not even saying that you did. I don't know what they're on about, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, don't forget who you were. It's like, yeah, well, I'm evolving. I'm not who I was, and that's why he's saying that. Kind of, it's like, but maybe it dovetails with you were saying how your beliefs kind of switch. Where like sometimes you're more in this direction or that direction, somewhat. Where it's like it seems like you were saying that like, do you remember saying that at the start of the live kind of where like your beliefs kind of ebb and flow, but they do kind of stick at its core in the same kind of thing, but it
yeah.
says you're thinking in a new
Some
direction over the past 3 weeks. Somewhere.
there's some things that never change about it, like the main ingredients of faith, where
Yeah,
it's like cold hard facts that I've experienced that I can't ever change or forget. But then
yeah,
certain other, I don't know, just different. Like I was explaining in that video I watched, um, just gave different context to the like this world and stuff. So it just, I don't know, it just opened my mind differently. Um, but yeah, and also going back to what we were just saying, it's like people that say that kind of thing are obviously people that haven't really evolved much
yeah,
themselves.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like they're like salty that you're moving on
Yeah, and they haven't
or something.
really since then, and they're like, oh no, you have to be at the same level as that. Like, bro, like it's actually just shows their lack of intelligence, and also it's just sus because it's like, bro, are you still listening to that old song that I made back then?
I
That just
yeah,
shows.
I'd have to kind of be in your shoes, but it kind of like I sense kind of just like hater energy, and like I might be familiar with it because like I've probably been a hater in some ways, some points. It's like when you say he's not evolving, for me, I feel that's like where like traumatic says like haters only hate because they hate themselves, and I feel like yeah, it, people tend to like leave like if it was like a sly comment or something like that. Like I notice like I would be I can be much more motivated to be of that nature if I'm like discontent with my own situation. Like, who's even leaving comments on your 12-old fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're probably like, you know what I mean? It's just like people, like, if I'm like chatting shit on the internet, I think I was like, I don't know. It's just like low life stuff. Like why aren't they just working on their own vision? Like if they're just leaving like hateful comments on the internet, it's probably because they can't get laid or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's a shame for them.
Yeah, fuck no. Can't remember how we spoke about or how we got into what we are talking about, but
Because we're talking about reinventing self or like evolving as a person. Oh yeah, and you not being the same person was when you was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think in a way, like I don't know what it is like, or I don't want to like dig deep and like fucking say things that you won't want to keep up or whatever. Because I might try and keep up this Instagram live, but like I don't know like what you're potentially like going through, or if you feel like you're undergoing like some form of a transformation at the minute, even though the transformation probably never really ends from the moment you're born. But I just like again like that faith kind of like I feel like kind of keeps you centered and kind of grounded, where like just like a trust in the universe kind of just because I think you vaguely said that it was like a I don't know if you're saying like it hasn't been like the easiest somewhat, you were saying like the transformation somewhat as of recent has been like somewhat difficult in some ways. I don't want to like deep it if you don't want to, but
Yeah, I'm kind
I can almost sense that you've
of.
like been going through it.
I'm still kind of deep in it myself, bro. It's like I don't know. It's just a long time of being focused on things like music, which I'll always do, bro. Like music, I reckon I'll do music when I'm an old man.
Yeah.
But I've got to a point where I'm like, rah, there's other things I need to do as well, and it's actually like a bit daunting because it's that the music thing was all I find it easy, bro. Music, because I've
Yeah.
done it for so long. So it's a comfort zone, really. So at some point, I have to do something else to grow, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be like, right, new tune, um, which I could do. Like it's not a problem, but I think personally, I need to try other things. And yeah, bro.
One thing that's kind of mad, I hear what you're saying. I think, and like we can get back onto it. Like, I'm not diverting, but like it's kind of a diversion a little bit. It's like in terms of like, because like in the moment, it's like you're very involved in your current survival situation and what's going. You know, you got that ticket guy, you've got contemplations on like what you want to do before this incarnation maybe has got its time up and that. But it's like it's. I find it weird how like because I was so immersed in so many problems in my life, like in the past, like, oh, what am I going to do about, I'm going through a new phase. But then, like, in the future, it just turns into a memory where, like, everything that you're on about right now is literally going to, it's like, there's this video that I'll send you that's on my Instagram. It makes me trip out. It goes like, life is flashing before your eyes. And it's like a song. It's like life just keeps flashing before your eyes. And it makes you realize, like, the impermanence. Like, even though you're in your incarnation now and you're going through all this stuff, like everything is literally like on a timer where it's all just gonna like I don't know, it's like even if you do make music or if you write a book, it's like all of it's just gonna dissolve anyway. Like I'm not saying
I don't
so
know.
you just keep I'm not saying that's irrelevant because obviously you're still very concerned about like I don't know, I didn't mean to just divert, but it's just kind of interesting how like with time everything just disappears anyway. Or what.
I've thought about that, and I've considered like this is why sometimes I think like, it's good that I've made hard copies of projects and people have bought them because I feel like, right, what if the internet died? Like,
Yeah, I think that all the
at
time, yeah.
least there'll be some people out there with a hard copy of my project. Because even not long ago, yeah, someone hit me up showing me they'd done a little video of them holding this old mixtape I made in 2014, I think it was, and he was still playing it, and he was just saying, "Bro, it goes hard," and this not many mixtapes made it in his collection, but that did. And I was thinking, bro, so even like, I don't know, it kind of made me realize, like, you know what, I have done a lot of things I set out to
Yeah,
do through the music. You know, I've made things that have lasted and people have carried into their life, and even more so in recent years. So it's like, raw, like, sometimes you're aiming for something and you don't even realize, bro, someone could hit you up in 5 years and be like, yo, I'm just banging out your mixtape, bro, from
yeah.
whatever year. So, yeah, I've been reanalyzing a few things and the reason I do things, and I have ticked a lot of boxes within music, even though I'm not like a huge artist, in terms of following. Like I have ticked a lot of the boxes, bruv. So that's one of
Scale.
the things.
When I say like scale is kind of like a myth, kind of like yeah, maybe you're not as like, because say like if I go to Mr. Traumatic, I go #traumatic. It's like there's like endless accounts that like are posting his stuff, and like for me, I feel like that's like a proper almost. If you get like viral and that, you know, you end up like having loads of people, like kind of how I've uploaded a few rare clips of your like unreleased stuff every now and then. Like if you had loads of people doing that, it's like that's like when you say like, oh, even though my music hasn't got like mad scale, but I don't think that's inherently relevant because I hear exactly what you're saying and I resonate and I understand what you're saying very deeply. Like I relate to it, where it's like the egos somewhat like need to like, where like you want to solidify your work. I speak about it a lot, where it's like if it's all on the internet, it's not even physical. And like what you're saying about, oh, it's good that people have got my physical copy. Like I'm like happy that you've even done that, because I do think that a lot as well in terms of like Babylon and the Mass Awakening. I speak a lot about solidifying this stuff, where like I want to download like every one of these talks that I've done with you and me or whatever or whoever, like onto like loads of fucking USBs and just like
Mm.
it's like because the internet is very it can just kind of like disappear to fucking, you know, it's like but yeah, like even like say me, like I know your lyrics in my brain. So even if you're gone and all of your physical copies are gone and everything, like they're still in here. And then I might put them like every now and then I put a comment or a reference, and it's like I saw a video a while ago called "The Echo of You" or something, and it was just talking about how like you go much further out than you can ever anticipate, in a way where yeah, like you've definitely left your mark in a way, and like when it comes to life purpose, you can kind of see like yeah, like you're trying to achieve this and that, you're trying to move forward, but you have already done a lot of it. You have checked a lot of boxes, kind of like you say, and like even me to an extent, like you can feel kind of like uh proud and kind of like almost like uh you don't have this fire up your ass kind of in terms of like where it's like it's almost like you've completed a bit of your life purpose, because for example like Mr. Traumatic, I can't remember what his post was, but I commented, I said, you didn't even have to do any of this, bro. Like you could have just ate a pot noodle in your warehouse job or something. It's like, and you could have done that as well. Like you didn't have to make any of this. You could have just literally fucking played a video game.
That's it. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, and it's been a long time, bro, since I was like young. I was on this, but it just didn't materialize. Or when you know what, you know Nova Flip, yeah? Well, you don't know him, but you know of him, yeah? So when
Yeah.
I went to him at King's Cross, he knows me from back in the day, like 12 years ago. And we were talking about the different, like, or like aliases that I went through to get to this one, which isn't really an alias, it's just me. But I was explaining it, and the way he worded it was perfect. He was like, "Oh, and Ryan Sanders is the one that landed." He said the way he said it was that's the one that landed. I was like,
Yeah.
I like the way you worded it because it's the truth, and it's like RS landed the way it was supposed to, whereas before I was trying to do shit, and then I landed, and now it's like, okay, cool. I know people all around the world have. I'm in all the different parts of the world, music-wise, but does it matter if the scale isn't as broad and as vast as like you say, Traumatic or whoever? Like,
But then
would I
again,
like that to happen? Of course, but what can you do? You can't really force it to happen.
you can't force it. I hear what you're saying, yeah. Like, but it's not set in stone either. Like, because you're still like. Sometimes it trips me out that I'm still inside what I've always been inside. Like, I'm still me. It's like who I've been all this. I'm still in the house that I grew up in, and I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just diverting now. But what I mean is like, it's not over. It's like
No.
you're still like, right in the middle of it. Like I said, if anything, it's like somewhat the prime in a way. Like,
yeah, I'm saying it's never over, but you can also be proud of where you're at and things you've done, especially as it's all for a good reason. It's like you said, I don't even remember even considering not doing it. It's like I could have just played computer games and I could have just been an NPC and stacked bread. But really, I spent every penny I had in trying to do productive stuff and follow my gut and all this stuff. And it's like, cool.
it's just like who you were in a way. Like you didn't really have it in you to fucking work in a 9 to 5 like that because you probably did once upon a time and it made you fucking raging. So you carved your way out. So you like,
Bro, I've done loads of shit. My CV is quite. I've probably got stories for each different job I've ever done.
Yeah.
But you're right. Each time I had to try and escape into something or just do something else. And it's probably going to always be like this. But this is what I was saying. I think earlier, this is what I was kind of getting at when it comes to integrating, and really, not the cure, the solution is always money. Like to not have to go back into the rat race or to integrate society, you need to make money. So
Yeah.
it's like, rah.
See, yeah. I mean, it can be kind of like daunting in terms of, like I say, like even if I enjoy myself and have a good time, like it always returns back to like the fact that I'm fucking like basically trapped, and I like, yes, the poverty is quite like dominating. I'm not making any assumptions, but like, just for a lot of people, it's like the mighty kind of people have the intuition that money like kind of rules the place in a way where it's not an intuition, it's just kind of like a fact. What the fuck was this? One thing I'll say is like, I feel like that in a way, like what I notice for myself is the only limit is in my mind somewhat. Where like, in terms of you, like for example, I like recall listening to a few of these like podcasts, and they speak about how like for like a lot of people they like unconsciously neglect marketing. Whereas like you never know, like you could just like try and promote your stuff that you've already made in a different way. And it might just take off. Or like for me, like I've been struggling with my money because I haven't been working properly because them jobs just blew my fucking brain off kind of, and I've just been like isolating and going through a bit of a transformation phase myself while I'm like reevaluating a lot of stuff. And I feel like I know, even though I'm just like some like unhinged, like half mentally ill teenager on the internet, I feel like I could, if I really thought about it and if I writ some shit down, I feel like I could get like some cash flow. Like I feel like I could, like if I like ended up like making a Discord and like got into and like we called people, like in terms of like just value exchange, where like I think there's more opportunities than people realize. Where like I feel if I got my head down, I reckon I could be fucking making some money through this fucking oxen shit on the internet, like a little bit at least. Just by thinking, like if you got your head down, I don't know what situation you're in, but like I reckon I think there's more options than we realize, but they're passing us by because we're not really seeing them in a way. We're like, there's no limit. It's just the mind. Like We can literally do anything. It's like literally infinite creation is like literally waiting for us to recognize it.
I
I feel like.
agree with you, and especially with what you're saying about me with the marketing, because that is another string to what I'm trying to figure out as well. Is like, yo, I've got a catalogue of music that I know is wicked. I don't necessarily need to keep churning out songs. I just need to figure out a way for more people to find it. And in, like,
Yeah.
I know that there's people out there that if they found a tune of mine, they have a whole catalogue that they can just immerse themselves into. So it is marketing, really.
I feel like you never know what's around the corner, kind of like with Inspeckta Veg, like he blew up with the Bird's Eye Mum, didn't he, all of a sudden? It's like, I feel like it's quite a humbling thing to like, despite what you might be thinking about your current situation, it's like anything could happen. Anyone could message you at any point, or the aliens could come. You know what I mean? You're there thinking, oh, should I write a book? It's like, fuck me, you might turn on the news tomorrow and the aliens will fucking be here. Like,
It's it's true. We're literally talking about this stuff. The maddest thing, like Jesus might come back tomorrow, and then we just be like, oh, cool, it's done, safe.
or maybe. So I don't know, but no, yeah, you never know. You do really never know what's around the corner. Like life has done nothing but surprise us, basically, somewhat. And it's like, I feel like somewhat that's what, because like my faith can somewhat hinge off like, I don't know if I'm in a dream or not. So sometimes I fall back on like what Veg was saying, like maybe one day I will just wake up and like, don't matter what's happening. Like, I'm like, maybe this is just a dream. Sometimes I'm like, hopefully it's just a fucking dream. Hopefully this ain't real. Hopefully I will wake up one day. Would be nice. So, but no.
On that note, I think I'm going to cut because my battery's low.
Yeah, bro. It's been a good chat though. Yeah, all right. All right.
Peace.
All right. Safe, my G. Take care, bro. We'll chat soon.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yes, that's Ryan Sanders, bruv. Self-love is the highest teaching in the universe. See you later. Bless. That's OXSN, brother. I feel like I said something at the end that made him switch up. I don't know. I said the aliens could return. It's like, no, I felt like he switched up at the end, but I don't know anyway. Half the time I'm on Instagram Live, like, worrying about my own insecurity and like, oh, what was I going to say? Worrying about how I'm going to be perceived. But like, I think a good way to be like, I've been flipping it. It's like, for me, I feel like when I was, I don't want to make any assumptions or nothing, but like, it doesn't matter who it is, to be honest. I feel like drastic, like, compassion for whoever I'm speaking to be honest. So at my core, I just like hope that everyone's all right. I said that to Ryan ages ago in like a direct message for no reason. I just sent it to him like, all this stuff going on, everyone's trying to do this and that, but like at the core, I just have compassion. Where it's like I noticed that there was a kind of a shift in my attention where like at the start I was kind of like self-centered, focused on my own like insecurity, but like and like trying to make sure that I'm like looking cool somewhat and not fucking up on the camera. My ego is coming in, but then like I switched my attention from being selfish to like selfless, basically, at some point, and I just felt that you can kind of you can feel this kind of like compassion that permeates all of existence, and you just kind of hold everything in loving awareness. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Bless.